To be honest, tune in. Is the pod going up? To be honest, sit down, we need to have a talk. Cornelius gon' make a point that the others don't. The mother souls sound the same, come escape the box. Expand your mind, dig into no controversial topics. He ain't scared to keep it real. Tune into this podcast, but don't be in your feelings. We gon' have a laugh, we gon' talk about some pain. Let's talk about the present situation of today. Yeah. To be honest, is this the podcast? I need to tune in right now.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Yo, it's your boy Cornelius, Lindsey, with another episode of To Be Honest. And I have somebody with me today I haven't had in a long time. Jared Behringer. What's up? Jared B, and the B stands for?
Well, B stands for Behringer, but everybody calls me Bear. So you can feel free.
We're gonna go with Bear now, man. We're gonna go with Bear, man. We have so much to talk about, man. I feel like I haven't talked politics or anything, even remotely close to it, since the since Silent Majority. And if you're still listening to Be Honest, you remember the Silent Majority days. Then remember Jared and I, we had some great conversations about a lot of different politicians and everything else. So. Man, we have a lot of things we can cover. I mean, have you heard anything about these? Have you read any of Dr. Fauci's emails?
Yeah, I have. I definitely have.
So, what are your thoughts on that? And like legit, when I'm in reading them, because I read them too. What are your thoughts on that?
It's just like I told you so, but. Because I really didn't tell anybody anything like that. But I mean, my goodness, it's just disheartening. I'll say.
I mean, okay. So for me, bro, I felt like you already saw this coming. I feel like this was inevitable. I feel like the whole thing was a hoax. I feel like the whole thing was just dumb. And when I say it was a hoax, I'm not saying that COVID itself was a hoax. I feel like it's a very real thing. It's like the flu, and it's like or it has. When I say like the flu, I'm not saying to the same degree, but I'm saying that it's a virus. It is something that spreads. But when you read an email that says, you know, that he believes that the masks don't necessarily work to keep healthy people from contracting the virus, and because they can wear the mask, is like the mask supposed to be worn by the people who are sick in order to keep them from spreading the virus. But then like the COVID virus, like the particles were so small that it kind of go through the mask, and so it's like, you know, the whole nation and really the whole world. The World Health Organization kind of went through this whole thing, man, where, we went through lockdowns. It was shut down the whole world. It was shut down economies. I just feel like this guy, he should be held responsible for it. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I was ridiculed because, you know, I'd walk inside of a store and I'm like, you know, for me, I only put on a mask if it was mandatory. If they said it was mandatory, I put on a mask. And then I had Christian folk who were like, you need to put on a mask because oh, bro, I heard this one. You either put on a mask because that is your love for your brother. That's what I heard. That's what I got. That's your love for your brother. And I'm like, where in the mask? Where in the Bible does it say that? Where in the Bible? Scripture and verse. Chapter and verse, brother. Chapter and verse. I couldn't wrap my head around even the church trying to use the Bible to validate like the mask wearing and to validate all this stuff, because they were saying, well, you need to wear a mask to protect your neighbor. That's just like me saying, I'm going to wear a condom to protect you from getting pregnant. Right. I'm gonna wear a condom to protect you from having a child. Like Jay, like I mean, me putting on the condom, it's gonna help. You know, the sperm stay with me. I mean, you know, I don't know how graphic I'm going with this. You know, it's not gonna stop the sperm from getting out of you. I don't know. In my mind, I was just like, this is some bull crap, man. It was straight bull crap.
It is, and you know, I'm reading a book by James Comey right now.
Oh, wow.
And he talks about he talks about preserving the trust of the American public,
Mm-hmm.
and and I mean the lengths that they go to make it seem like, oh, we're protecting you, or we're not lying to you, when in reality, man, like, you don't know what's true. Like, you only know what's true by what you hear and what you see on these headlines. And people take that and they run with it and they say, oh, it's gospel. And that you should do, exactly what's being told. But man, I've had these conversations with you before. Like, I worked in the media.
Yeah.
I know what seems to be true is not always true.
Right.
And I've been shamed, bro. Like, I can't even tell you how many times I've been shamed for, not wearing a mask, or, not taking it quote unquote seriously.
Yep.
And now I'm just like, I wanted to post so bad on my Facebook, on my social media, like, so you guys want to address this, or
we go act
so
like
bad.
this ain't here.
I wanted to be so petty,
Yeah,
with my post.
Yeah.
But I was like, let me refrain from my carnal nature. And let me walk in the spirit.
I couldn't understand. I mean the same thing, because people would, see my workout videos and they'd be like, oh, you're at the gym without a mask on and you're putting all those people at risk. And I'm like, well, it's a public facility. Nobody asked them to come into the gym. They came into the gym understanding there's a risk. The same way when I come into a gym, I'm always taking a risk. I mean, I can get athlete's foot in the locker room. It's like, there's a risk in everything that I do. There was a risk when I drove here in a vehicle. A drunk driver could have hit me and totaled my car. Like, there's a lot of risk that I took to get here. And they're like, well, know, you should take it seriously. And you're putting your family at risk, because if you catch it at the gym, like, you could take it back home to your family. And what about this? And what about, they had this whole we campaign, or you're killing the elderly and you're killing the people. And I remember months ago, bro, we were having that conversation about the CDC that was saying it was like 79 or 81% of the people of COVID related hospitalizations were people who were overweight.
Obese. Yeah.
They were overweight or obese. And I'm like, okay, hold on. So y'all don't think it's crazy that Krispy Kreme is giving away donuts? Like, Krispy Kreme giving away donuts, bro. Budweiser is saying, like, I think it's Budweiser, whichever one of the beer
free
companies.
Beer.
Yeah, they're saying they give away free beer on National Beer Day if a certain number of people get vaccinated in time. And you had all these companies, like you had the governor of Ohio who was saying, I'll put you in a lottery to win $1 million. Some girl won it to win $1 million if you go get vaccinated. And it's like, I've never seen such a push by the government to get people to get this vaccine. And my thing is, it's an experiment. We don't know what's going. We don't know, like, legit. And my thing is this, bro. If you're gonna give out a free vaccine, then why can't you give out free insulin? Like, I have a serious shellfish allergy. Why do I have to pay over $1,000 to buy 2 EpiPens? Like, if you're gonna give out something for free, like, what about the people who have diabetes? Like, they need insulin shots, and people can't even get what they need because they can't afford it. But you're giving out this vaccine that nobody has a clue what's in it, and people just right here just like, yep. And we hear Joe is like, shots in arms and money in pockets, and then, like, the inflation goes up. I'm hearing stories about women who are saying, now they have fertility issues. People are saying they're getting blood clots. And all these different stories are coming out, but the news isn't even talking about it. It's crazy, dude.
No, and it is crazy, man. And so many people are just like getting behind it, man. Like, they're like rah about it. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
What got me was like, did you read the email that Mark Zuckerberg sent them?
Yeah, I did.
And they blocked out the whole deal.
Yep.
That he proposed.
Yep.
I really wonder what that deal was. Like, because he was like, and I'm paraphrasing this here. He was like, we can help you reach millions and hundreds of millions of people with our network to help promote it, and the awareness of it and so forth. And then he proposes a deal that, of course, they blocked it out. But I guarantee you, it's a money deal.
Oh, absolutely, it's a money deal.
I guarantee you, it's a money deal. Like, but I bet you it's a money deal. Like, it's probably something along the lines of, hey, if we can get this many signups or whatever, like for this amount of money or whatever. I don't know, but I bet you it was a money deal.
Absolutely. Absolutely, it was a money deal. It was a money
And then
deal.
should they be held accountable?
Absolutely,
Too? Like,
they should be held accountable. Absolutely,
because they're getting behind all of this and using their extensive and vast network of subscribers to promote bullshit. Like,
that's exactly what it is. No, that's bro. They should all be held accountable. Okay, so I remember when this stuff all came out. I think we were talking about this on Silent Majority, and we were talking about. Remember Donald Trump? He came out and he was like, he called it the China virus. He's called it the China virus. It's like it came from a laboratory in Wuhan. This this is legit. It's the China virus. That's just what it is. And as he kept saying it. Well, everybody's like, well, no, it didn't do that. It didn't do that. We don't know where it came from. Dr. Fauci, I don't know where it came from. Then in the emails, he makes it really clear that he knew that that it was developed in a laboratory in Wuhan.
Right.
And then we come to find out that it was a laboratory that he actually helped to fund.
Mm-hmm.
So not only are you complicit, not only did you know that it came from this laboratory that you didn't share with a massive amount of people. Not only did you know this, but you didn't share it. And then on top of that, then you continued to push a narrative that was completely opposite of the truth. So now you have the American people buying a lie that this is something that just came out of just thin air. No, at first it came from bats. Remember that? It was a woman who ate bat soup. It came from bats. And then remember that? It was like the bat. It was the bat thing. And then it just kind of came out of thin air. These things just kind of pop up. And now we get the truth that, all the conspiracy theorists or what we were, that it truly came from a Wuhan laboratory. And now we begin to see why Donald Trump was like, I can't stand this guy. I don't want this guy on the podium. I don't want him there. I want to get him out of there. Dr. Fauci makes more than the president of the United States of America. I think it was President George W. Bush that raised the amount that the president makes. I think, a president makes $400,000 a year. Dr. Fauci makes, upwards of almost $500,000 a year or over that of the president. And this guy is he's legit, bro. He's gotten paid to falsify the truth that goes to the American people. And that's crap.
He should be fired.
He should be fired. He should also be tried in court. It's ridiculous.
He should be.
And he should be held liable for people's deaths.
Lies.
Yeah.
Straight up outright
lied. And not only just people who died, but the people last year who they lost businesses, they lost homes, they lost family. I mean, people last year lost some really significant things. And now, Uncle Joe, he's just trying to throw money at all the situations. Him and the Democrats just trying to just throw money at it. And now we're getting this glimpse of what inflation is going to look like in our country. And when inflation hits, I mean, when the bubble finally bursts, it's not going to be pretty for America. And I'm like, people, what are we looking at? This is crazy. Yeah. It's insane.
It really, and I've been asking myself, well, why? Like, what's really the purpose, and why is this really happening? That's what I've been asking myself. I don't know why, but who's making the money here? Like, or whose agenda is really being pushed here, and what is their agenda? Is what I've been asking myself. Is it to really, put the economy in dire straits so that I don't know. I don't know.
Well, I
I have
mean,
no idea.
that would ultimately, I mean, that's ultimately where we're going right now. I mean, we already know that. I mean, it's not, people always say, China's going to own us. I mean, China already owns a great deal of America. I mean, China tells America, what to do, when to do. I mean, you have Uncle Joe who comes out and he says, I'm going to tell China what they're going to do. And we know it's pure bull crap. You're not telling China to do anything, bro. You're not telling China to do a doggone thing. And so we know that. And the same way with Russia, Putin's going to push him around. President Chai, whatever his name is, he's going to push him around. And none of the stuff's going to go anywhere, man. America right now is just on its way, just down the barrel. You have inflation. You have the dollar losing value. You have a dismal jobs report that just came out. I mean, it wasn't all that great. It's not like we're adding jobs, and they're blaming it, saying, well, that's because people are staying on unemployment. And it's like, well, is it just that people are staying on unemployment, or is it you put so much fear and anxiety into people's hearts that they're afraid to go back into the public, to the general public? I mean, I'm walking through the airport and people are legit afraid. I mean, I saw a guy who had on 3 masks. I was like, God, no, can you even breathe?
More than that, like when I was at the Paris airport, bro, they were walking around in full bodysuits.
Wow.
I'm talking about full, like, hazmat material bodysuits.
That is insane. I don't get it. And then here's the crazy thing. And then
the outside smoking cigarettes in the body.
That's what I don't get. That's the thing I don't. I was about to say that I don't get that. I do not get that. So they'll say, I'm gonna protect my breathing. But here's the crazy thing. I'm gonna protect my breathing when I walk through a restaurant. But then when I sit down in the restaurant and I start eating, then I must be okay.
It's a threshold.
Yes, it's just a threshold.
That threshold is like you're walking through the veil. Like you got to be protected walking through that veil.
Remember when they said, okay, we need to social distance. We need to be at least 6 feet apart. Remember that? And then the report came out that said, sorry, COVID can actually travel up to 13 feet apart. And I'm like, well, if the wind's blowing, it can probably go 30. So, I mean, should we just stay away from each other? Man, I have just I've completely lost it when it comes to those Dr. Fauci emails. I'm just like, I'm so out of it. What about the border, man? Have you heard the stuff about the border? I know VP Harris was on her way down, and then something happened to her plane. She's going to Guatemala, and something happened to her plane. She can't go. And
no, I haven't heard anything about it, to be honest.
About the border? Oh yeah, man. The border right now is like people are just kind of pouring in. Remember they were really heavy on President Trump because they were saying, you have these people in these cages and you're doing this, doing that. And but nobody was saying that it was President Obama and President and Vice President Joe Biden that actually created the cages that the kids were in. But now it's not getting the same type of media coverage because nobody's down there. And then whenever senators go down, their cameras and stuff are blocked. So the idea here is that President Joe Biden and VP Harris, they're staying away from the border. Because if they go down to the border, they know it's going to bring a lot of attention. That's why VP Harris is saying, instead of just going to the border to check out the border, I'm going to go deal with the root issue. So I'm going to go to Guatemala and I'm going to go and deal with the root issue down there. So it's her way of saying, I'm going to deal with this. I'm going to deal with it my way. But yeah, right now with immigration, like I know the state of Texas, they called in a state of emergency. I think they even did it in the state of Arizona. They called in a state of emergency because of the border. They're trying to secure their state. People are just kind of flooding in, which I didn't understand because we had a pandemic going on and they're talking about, passport visas and this passport vaccine visas and stuff like that, where you would need one to travel outside of the country into other countries. But then, people are just kind of just rushing right into ours. And hey, I'm a Christian. I'm a believer. I am all for taking care of the immigrant. I'm all for taking care of the stranger. I'm all for taking care of the people. My thing is, at what point do we cease from doing that legally? and just, making sure that, I mean, people who come over, we create a simple yet legal process so that we know who comes into our country, and we know when they come into our country, we can continue to track them. I mean, that's what they're doing with me. They know exactly who I am. I have a social security number. Even if I get a business, I have an EIN number. The government is able to track me. They know where I'm going, when I'm going, what I'm doing. You have people who are just here, and we don't really know what they're doing, why they're here, anything. And there's no way you can have a country if you don't know who's in it. The same way, I don't just let anybody just come into my house. I want to know who you are. What are you doing here? Why are you here? And be able to develop relationship with you so I can see if you're an asset to my house or you're a liability. And that is something that we should have. We don't have that right now.
Yeah. And I did see something on TV where I seen people just crossing like in streams with and they were filming them like it was okay. I was watching the video. I was like, are they not going to like stop you? I mean, are they just like complicit with them coming out? Because they're filming them right now. Like this is
yeah, it's insane. It is so insane, bro. It's so insane. I was listening to a podcast the other day, and they were talking about how they really believe that what's his name? That President Joe Biden knows that he's going to be a one-term president, and that ultimately, he's just kind of going down the same track as Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter just, I believe Jimmy Carter became president so he can pave the way for Ronald Reagan. But I mean, because right now, I mean, the way we're going, I don't see, if the election was held today, I don't see people going back out to vote for Joe Biden. Like they said they did.
Foster the peace deal between Egypt and Israel?
What'd you say?
Didn't Joe Carter foster or negotiate the peace deal between Egypt and Israel? That would be.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but I mean, let's look at America. Look at America during the time of Carter economics, and recognizing that something new had to be done. Jimmy Carter could not broker the right deals internationally and nationally. I just think he was just in way too far over his head. I feel like the same thing is happening right now with Joe Biden. I mean, look at the issue that happened between Israel and Palestine. America didn't come in to resolve that. You would think that would be an American thing. We come in to resolve that. It was actually Egypt that came in and brought them both to resolve it.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's because we don't want it resolved. Like we stand on the side of Israel. Like I feel like they're, but who really knows? I mean, to be honest, the United States is probably funding both countries. They're funding Israel. They're allies with Israel to the public, but they're probably like
funding the Palestinians.
They're probably shipping arms to the Palestinians so they can
just stay in war and stay in battle. It's mind boggling to me just where the world is right now, man. I mean, just really where the world is right now. And then of course we can't forget about the vaccine. So I'm asking you, have you already gotten your vaccine?
I got my vaccine when it first came out. I ain't get that vaccine. Stop playing with me. I ain't get that vaccine.
You got that J&J?
Come on, man. Pfizer. I bet you there's probably like, I bet you people look at you differently, whether you got Moderna, Pfizer. It's like, you get shamed no matter what. Like if you get the vaccine, it's like, oh, well, what'd you get? What kind of vaccine you get? Oh, you got this? I don't even know which one's like the best or which one, But I guarantee you people will probably look at you side-eyed if you say like, oh yeah, I got Moderna.
Yeah, people look at you anyway, I mean, nowadays, I walk in stores, I don't have on a mask, and they now stores are strongly encouraging you to wear a mask, and 90% of the people inside the store, they have on a mask, and I'm thankful they do, because I'm following the science. I'm following what Dr. Fauci said. Those people could be sick, and those people, knowing that they could be sick, they're wearing a mask, and ultimately they're helping me who is healthy. I'm healthy. I know I'm healthy. I'm fine. And then some people say, well, you may be asymptomatic.
Asymptomatically too, right?
What did you say?
Didn't he say it's not transmitted asymptomatically? Oh my God.
So remember that whole thing about, oh, you could be asymptomatic and you just gave it to grandma. You killed grandma. And it's like,
You never know.
but well, now the science of what Dr. Fauci says, but and here's the crazy thing. It's not even on the news like that anymore.
I did not hear. I didn't get one. You know what's funny? I didn't get one notification pop up. I didn't see one notification pop up from with any headline talking about this. I mean, it probably did, but when something big like that pops up, they're like talking about it. They'll still be talking about it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, he should have did what his buddy Hillary Clinton did. They should have been on the same server. Could have deleted those. Now he sees why you need to delete your emails
or get a nice fixer.
Or get a nice fixer. That's true.
He didn't have a fixer. That's the problem.
No, I know. Amazon dropped his book. I think Amazon took his book offline. Remember,
really?
Yeah. Remember, he just released or just wrote a book about truth or something, telling the truth or something. And then the emails came out and it's like, oh, you lied.
Just kidding. I was just playing.
Just kidding. I was just playing. I ain't really do it. Oh yeah, man. It's insane.
He should be dragged to the Senate and by his ears.
Mm-hmm.
And wait, has he already given like a Senate hearing or anything or no?
Well, I think that was in 2020 last year. I know Rand Paul out of Kentucky. I think Rand Paul is trying to bring him to the Senate. Rand Paul is the one who's like pushing it. Rand Paul is a senator.
What did he tweet? He said, "I told you so."
Yeah, exactly. And Rand Paul is the one who's like, no, I'm not getting the vaccine. I'm healthy. He said, I've already had COVID, which means I already have the antibodies. And then the science goes in and science says that they don't know how long the antibodies last in your body after you have had COVID. Well, the same science says that once you get the vaccine, they don't know how long the vaccine is going to last inside of your body. So now they're talking about multiple vaccines long after you've gotten the first one. So that means that people could be taking a COVID vaccine every single year.
No, bro.
Could you believe that?
Flu, huh?
Just like the flu. And then here's the crazy thing. Then they're saying we need to give it to children. So all the kids who are 12 and under, they're going to need a COVID vaccine. I wish I would take my kids down there to go get. I wish I would. If I brought it to myself, you better punch me in the face.
But my problem is, and what gets me upset is the people that shame you, man. Like the people that look at you and they say that they look at you and they shame you for not getting the vaccine.
Absolutely.
That's my issue. And my retort is like, you don't even know what the heck is, really going. You don't know what's in the vaccine. You don't know what they're telling you.
No idea. They have no idea. Haven't researched it.